Got it. Okay, we're live. So today is Monday, 5/9/22, right? And it's a review. So let me go slowly through this. If you guys take good notes, it can be the easiest quiz, easiest test we take. It can be. I'll go through it, okay? So number one, you need some formulas, okay? Given the regular decagon, we know decagon is 10 sides, right? Find the final. So the sum of all interior angles has a formula, 180 times n minus 2. Okay, write that down. That's our formula. So in this case, I know that n is 10. So for the sum of all interior angles, we're just going to have it be 180 times 10 minus 2. And I'm just going to use a calculator to get that answer. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and go 180 times 10, subtract 2, and I get an answer of 1,444. 1,440. And so that's all of them, okay? That's, if we add them all the way around, that's all of them added up. Now, what about an individual one? So, oh, can't do that yet. That's down here, okay? So sum of the exterior. Now, an exterior angle looks like this. That's my exterior angles. But they always, doesn't matter what the figure is, it's always 360 degrees for the sum of all the exterior angles. So if you were to add all of these little exterior angles up, they'll add up 360 degrees, okay? Always. Now, an individual interior angle, since it's regular, we can figure that out. So we take the answer from above. We take our 1,440, and since there's 10 angles, we divide it by 10 to get one individual angle. Okay? That gives me 1,440 degrees. I'm sorry, 144 degrees. If I wanted to do just a pure old one of these exterior angles, let me highlight that so you can see it. But if I want to do just one of these exterior angles, like that one there, well, that's not too bad. I know that the sum of them is 360, and if I divide that by, well, there's 10 of these exterior angles, I'd get 36 degrees. How am I doing? Good so far? Okay, number two. Am I going too fast? Number two is just backwards. So I know that if I use this formula, the 180 n minus 2, I get the sum of some angles, right? So it's kind of like backwards. I know the answer, I just don't know the figure. So I'm going to take this formula, 180 times n minus 2, and set it equal to my 900. Okay? So what I want to do is find the n that makes that. So I'm just going to solve. Well, to solve this, the first thing I'm going to do is divide by 180, divide by 180, okay? I'm just going to solve it. All right, I can use my calculator on that. 180, oops, clear, 900 divided by 180, and I get an answer of 5. Okay, so I got an n minus 2 equals 5. And then, of course, plus 2, n is 7. So it had to be a septagon that gave me that answer. Okay, number 3. Well, if it's parallelogram, we know opposite angles are equal. So let's find x first. So I'll find x. I know these two angles is parallelogram, so I know this angle has to be equal to that angle there. So I'll just simply take my 4x plus 13 and set it equal to my 5x minus 12, and I'll solve. Okay, I can do that. Minus 4x minus 4x. I'm going to have 13 equals x minus 12 plus 12, and I get 25 equals x. Easy. I know you're saying it's easy for you, Mr. Davies, but honestly, you guys know how to solve for x. And then on the other ones, I know that, again, opposite angles are equal. Well, this is an x and that's a y. So I can't solve for x and y, but what I do know is I can put my 25 right there. And I can get that angle, right? I know x is 25, so I'll take my 3 times 25 minus 8. Let's see, 75 minus 8. So I just use 75 minus 8 is 67. So this angle is 67 degrees, okay? So now I can find y, because I know these two angles have to be equal. So I'm going to set 4y plus 7, that angle, equal to my 67. So I'll set that equal. So okay, I can do that. I'm going to go my 4y plus 7 equals my 67. And I'll solve. I'll go minus 7 minus 7. And I'll have a 4y equals 60. Divide by 4. Let's see, what is that? 15 probably. 30, 15, yeah. Okay. Pretty easy. Okay, let's take a look at number 4. I'm going to get some graph paper out because it's so much easier to do with the graph paper. Okay. All right, number 4. I'm going to graph it first. Graph paper. And okay. Do you guys want to take some graph paper out? Do you need me to wait for a second so you get graph paper out? Okay. All right, so let's see what I have. I've got A at -3, -2. There's A. B is at -1, 1. There's B. C is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then I got to find the fourth one. Well, it's got to be right. It's got to be right there. It has to be. Well, how do I know that? Well, I know that if it's a parallelogram, then the slopes have to be equal. So the slope of this is up 1, 2, 3 over 2. So up 3 over 2, right? So then D would have to be the same thing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. D has to be there to make a parallelogram. Okay, so let me go ahead and draw that in. There's my parallelogram. And D is at the point 2. So my answer would be the other point's at 2, comma, -2. There's actually 3 points that would work, but let's just find the easiest one, okay? Okay. How am I doing? Too fast? Am I going all right in time? Spacing? Guys, how am I doing? TJ, thumbs up? Okay. All right, number 5. All right, it's a rhombus. Well, a couple of things I know. If it's a rhombus, first and most importantly on a rhombus, perpendicular. I'm going to start right there. I'm going to circle that, okay? I'm going to highlight that, okay? Perpendicular, okay? That's going to help me a whole lot on this thing. So if I make this right there be 90 degrees, it's going to help me because I want to find all the angles and all the sides, okay? Well, I can't find the sides because I didn't give you any information, but we'll get to that in a second, okay? All right, so angles. Well, how many degrees are in a triangle? How many degrees are in a triangle? Right, 180. I totally agree. So you know what I'm going to do? See that little blue triangle right there? That little blue triangle. I'm going to find angle. Find the measure of angle ABE. ABE, which is that angle there. I'm just going to go 180 degrees minus my 25 plus my 90, okay? Right? Everybody agree? 180 degrees, so angle ABE, I'm just going to use, which I think it's going to be, what, 65, I'll bet? It's got to be 65. It's got to be 65. So I get 65 degrees, right there, 65, okay? Okay, I know some more information about a rhombus. I do, okay? I know that if that's 25 there, in a rhombus, the angles get bisected, so that's 25 degrees. I know a rhombus, same thing. The angles get bisected, so that's got to be 65 degrees. I know opposite angles are equal in a rhombus, so that's got to be 25, and that's got to be 25. Boy, this is easy, huh? And 25, 90, and 65. That's going to be 65, and that's got to be 65. Wasn't that easy? You can do this. This is middle school math. This is 6th grade math. You guys agree? Pretty much. All right, number 6. I'm telling you guys, this should be the easiest quiz forever, easiest test for everybody. So mid-segment, here's what I know. I know that base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. So I know base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 equals my mid-segment, okay? I know that. So I'm going to take my 3x plus 12 plus my 2x minus 2 divided by 2 equals my mid-segment. I'll step back, okay? Base 1, that's my bottom, 3x plus 12, plus base 2, 2x minus 2, divided by 2 equals 15. Okay, how am I doing? Well, let's simplify. All right, so I'm going to get a 5x plus 10 divided by 2 equals 15. I just added 5x, 10. Now I could divide by 2, and then I'd get a 2.5, and I get decimals or fractions. I could do it that way. I'm just going to multiply by 2. That'd be faster. Multiply by 2, multiply by 2, and then I can avoid my decimals, okay? I don't want to do decimals. You guys don't like decimals. So now I've got a 5x plus 10 equals 30, right? And then I'm going to go minus 10. Minus 10, I got a 5x equals 20. I'm going to divide by 5. Divide by 5, x is 4. But that's not the answer. That's not the answer. It's only going to help me get the answer because what I'm looking for is the sides. I'm looking for the sides. So let's take our 4 and plug it in for x. There and there. All right, so base 1. Let's see. Base 1 is a 3 times a 4 now, because I put the 4 there, plus 12. Just doing that right there. So I get 12 plus 12 is 24. Okay, so base 1's 24. Okay. Base 2 then, I'm going to put the 4 right up here, and I'm going to go, okay, I can do that. I'm going to go my 2 times my 4 minus my 2. 8 minus 2 is 6, and there I have it, okay? Thumbs up? Easy? All right. Turn the page. All right. Okay, what do we know? Given the kite, so it's a kite. So if it's a kite, first thing I know is this. Okay, automatically perpendicular. I'm going to circle that. It's a kite. I'm going to circle that because that's going to help me. So the first thing I'm going to do is go straight to my 90-degree angle, okay? Start right there. All right, so then that's 90. And I'll do the same thing I did on the other side of the page. Okay, you see this blue triangle, right? And how many degrees are in a triangle? Yeah, so let's find the measure of angle ABD first. So I'll go 180 minus my 42 plus 90, and that should be what, 48, I think? I'll bet it's 48. Is it 48 degrees? I bet it's 48 degrees. So that's 48 degrees, okay? Okay, so now let's see now. Then that means that's 42 because they get bisected. And that's also 48 degrees there, okay? How am I doing? Now let's see what else. Well, this is 68. All right, let me get a different color. Okay, a different color. How about this triangle, okay? All right, I like colors. Colors make it easy for me to see. Okay, everybody see the green triangle, right? How many degrees in a triangle? Sure. So if I want to find the measure of this angle right here, so if I want to find the measure of angle DCA, I'm going to go 180 minus my 68 plus my 90, okay? What is that? Is that 32? 22, right? I think it's 22 degrees. Equals 22 degrees. So that means that angle's 22 degrees, and that angle's 22 degrees. I know because it's a kite, the opposite angles, the big opposite angles are equal. So this is also 68 degrees there, okay? Now the last problem is going to take a little bit of work, okay? And I'm going to go through it slowly, okay? So if I want to prove it, and it says it's a kite, let's graph it first, okay? Now this one's going to take some work. This is a problem that's going to take you the longest tomorrow, okay? But I want you to take your time and think about it. So first of all, if it says it's a kite, cross that off, it's a kite. Let's graph it, okay? First of all, let's graph this thing. Let's see what we got. Okay, so I've got a point at -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. There's A. Got that. -5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's B. -1, 6. There's C. And 2, -1. There's D. All right, let me draw that in. It says it's a kite. And I'll back up for a second, okay, and let you draw that. Okay, here comes the piece, though. How can we prove it's a kite? Well, what do we know? What is the definition of a kite? So what's our definition? Definition of a kite. Anybody? Okay, so what's a kite? Anybody know it? What's the definition of a kite? Anybody know the definition of a kite? I do. It is two adjacent equal sides. Okay, two adjacent equal sides. Well, all right. Two of them are easy. I can just count. So first of all, I want to prove that AB is equal to BC. That's really easy to prove. I can just count it. You guys agree with that? Let's count that, okay? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so those two are equal. I'm going to mark it now. I know that's equal to that. Okay, I can just count it. The length is 4 and 4. But now the other, I also have to prove that CD is equal to AD. Well, how am I going to prove that? That length? I mean, it just goes through the diagonal. I can't count it. I can't count this. But what I could do is one of two things. I could use the distance formula, which we learned a long time ago. I don't really want to do this, but you could do the distance formula. x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Or what's an easier way than the distance formula to find out the length of that? Yeah, Tava?
Can you just give the slopes?
Well, the slopes won't give it to me, but you're on the right track, okay? I could get the length if I make a right triangle. Now check this out. If I make a right triangle right here, what do you guys know about Pythagoras' theorem? So if I go a squared, b squared equals c squared, would that give me the length of c, which is AD? See how we do that? Which is kind of the slopes, isn't it, Tava? It kind of is. So if I want the length of AD, I'm going to go, okay, 3 squared plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squared equals c squared. I'm going to get 9 plus 49 equals c squared. I'm just doing Pythagoras theorem. I'll let you catch up, okay? I'm just doing Pythagoras theorem, that's all.
You don't even need to complete the Pythagorean theorem if you look at the other triangle formed by.
You're ahead of me.
See if the sides are equal on the triangle, it'll always produce the same results. You don't need to.
You are so right. I'm going to show that. Thanks, Ava. Ava's a step ahead of me. Thanks, Ava. You're totally right. I get 58 equals c squared, or the square root of 58 is c. So that means the length of this side is the square root of 58. Now, see what Ava was saying this. If we take a look at the other triangle, we'll see the exact same Pythagorean theorem. You guys see it? We also have our 3 squared plus our 7 squared. So we already know that's the square root of 58, so we know the two sides are equal. And then we've proven it. You can see the exact same 3 and 7. So when you do a proof, you've got to go through and graph it, and you've got to do a little bit of work. So I'm going to look for the little bit of work tomorrow to make sure that you prove it, okay? All right, now.